Right, everyone, Atlas the Wizard here. Today we're going to be doing a full guide to reaching Masters. I realize that we only have a week left in the split, and some people in my friends list personally were asking me, "Oh, how did you get to Masters so fast? You ranked up pretty fast," and I'm not one to boast, but I made from Super Bronze, Bronze 4, all the way up to Masters in about 5 to 6 days. So if I can do it as a Lifeline main, I have faith that you can too. Before we get started, please like the content, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please turn on post notifications so you see my latest videos. I will, in the description below as well, I am going to put a video as to the two games um, as of how I got to Masters. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. I think it's informative because it pinpoints good rotations, good communication, and all that good stuff, which we will get through in the Master's Guide. So yeah, before we start with anything, let's start with the legends that I use to get to Masters. I think for 90, I would say 95% of the time that I played ranked, it was with Caustic. I was playing Gibby and Lifeline, kind of like Platinum, just because they're pretty fun in Platinum. But at the time, I was kind of solo queuing because when I was in Platinum, most of my friends were already in Diamond or Masters or Pred or whatever. So these two legends I do not recommend for ranked. If you are like the best Gibby known to mankind, by all means play Gibby. Um, this list is just my personal preference and my guide as to how I got to rank or to masters uh, in such a short amount of time. Again, my average was 5 to 6 days. I was playing for about 4, maybe 5 hours. I know some people don't have that kind of time. Um, I don't, I work full time, so I made time, uh, you know, with the assets and kind of like the feedback that I was playing with randoms, kind of feedback that I was, getting, just playing the game. With that being said, like I said, I was playing Caustic 95% of the time. And then 2.5 of the other time it was Bloodhound or Octane. Bloodhound mainly because sometimes you don't have a scanner, and I would definitely urge people to play Valkyrie. If you aren't good with Valkyrie, she's kind of like the best rotation specialist at the moment. Um, yeah, I mean at one point it was Octane, right, to move your full team or Wraith. Valkyrie just kind of holds that title. Scanning beacons is a big part of ranked, especially when you start getting into diamond. But we'll talk about the gameplay later. But yeah, it was definitely just Caustic, Bloodhound, Octane. Um, if someone already chose Caustic or someone already chose Bloodhound, um, you kind of just eyeball in the character select screen, especially if you're playing by yourself. You know what I mean? Um, that's kind of what I did, but I just stick with Caustic because the gas kind of helps out with getting both assists and kills, which is definitely what you need in ranked. And it made the process extremely fast. I would definitely say start picking Caustic if you haven't learned them already. Um, there's like other legends too. I would say Caustic, Ashe, Valkyrie, Revenant. Anybody that has like damage potential outside of weapons, if that makes any sense, right? I definitely wouldn't choose Watson. You do need a lot of coordination. If you're three stacking to get to diamond, to masters, and go for it by all means. Like I said, like Watson and Gibby are very communication oriented, and you do need that communication to kind of make them work. Which isn't to say that they're not strong legends. They're obviously strong legends in their own ways. Crypto is a little weak. I would definitely choose Gibby over Crypto. There's more versatility. Or Valkyrie over Crypto. Again, more versatility. The ultimate is great and all, and he does get assist with scans, which is if you're good. I mean, if you throw it out, you're gonna get. assist with scans. But yeah, this crypto is definitely tied with Gibby and Watson in terms of you do need to be communicating. Whereas Caustic, you can just do whatever you want. You can three stack with friends, or you can run him alone. Revenant's okay. Loba's okay. Rampart, I would just choose Gibby or Caustic, like I said. You kind of have better defensive options than Rampart. Horizon is definitely a sleeper hit. I highly recommend Horizon um, in ranked. Definitely some of the best escape options. Well, maybe not as good as Wraith, but I forgot to mention kind of some of these at the top. Pathfinder, I would not use Lifeline. I said that I have stats with Lifeline, but she is garbage in rank. Do not choose her. Just use Gibby or Caustic. That's kind of the mentality I went in with is just choose meta. Maggie, non-existent. I wouldn't use Fuse, Mad Maggie. Seer, I mean, you can do it, but why choose Seer when you can have Bloodhound? You know what I mean? I already talked a little bit about Valkyrie, very important. And Ashe also very important. Ashe is a really good solo queue legend. Um, just as good as Caustic. I wouldn't say just as good as Caustic. She has some flaws, but she's pretty strong. Um, I'm not gonna do a full ranking tier list. Like I said, this is just what worked for me. 95% of it, like I said, it was just Caustic. The rest are kind of, you know, um, what is it called? Like the groups, right? The party that you're running. So now that we got into the characters, say you are with a three-person squad, I would say at least run one fortified legend, right? One good fortified legend, one legend that can help you with rotations for sure, right? And then one legend. The third legend can kind of be thrown out, but these three for sure, if you are going to be running with a team, you need Gibby, Caustic, or Valkyrie. That is high meta, even in the ALGS, and even tournaments outside of the US. These are the big hitters that you want to be uh, going for, especially when it comes to Diamond and above. So enough about that. Let's talk about the weapons. All the assault rifles are excellent. The only one that's a little bit on or off is the Havoc due to not having a turbocharger, and you need to find a way to have a consistent amount of energy ammo. Where is it being Loba or telling your teammates, hey, I need energy ammo, etc., etc. Submachine guns, I would strave away from the Prowler. Um, and the R9. The reason is because they eat up a lot of bullets and they're not so much ammo efficient. Um, there was a point where the Prowler was full auto. Sadly, it's not anymore, so I don't think it's viable. And I don't want you guys screaming at me in the comments like, "Oh, but the Prowler's so good." And it's like, I know the Prowler's amazing. It's just the fact that you're bursting 5 bullets and you don't have as much control of your ammo capacity, right? That's kind of the mentality you want to go when you start getting into Diamond, heading into Masters, is is you need to preserve what you have, right? You need to know, uh, you need to have like a plan B when you're getting third party type of thing. And the Prowler just eats up too much ammo, and it's not good for medium to long range, especially in a map like Kings Canyon and Store Point. It's going to be long distance. You do need something to kind of keep your opponents away. The R9 is way too close up. In most cases, you don't really want to be up in a Gibby's face. You know what I mean? Like he has like his shield up. You're not really going to win that 1v1 efficiently. Same with a Caustic. It's not wise. The Caustic can just go around the corner, throw a gas bubble, and you're just chasing him with an R9. It's very Tom and Jerry, and it's not efficient. However, the alternator is a different story just because you can do short to medium range. It's a little bit better in terms of poke damage, especially in Diamond. You're going to need to stick with your squad. There's going to be situations where you can't stick with your squad. Alternator works, Volt SMG works, and Car, I guess, is the best SMG in the game. So I would definitely, if you are going to run an SMG, just choose a Car. or an alternator. Again, a car above the alternator, and then maybe a volt above the car. That's if you have the ammo and you can hit your shots with the volt. I recommend you practice with the volt if you haven't already. Light machine guns, I would stay away from the Devo. Kind of the same thing that goes for the Havoc. If you don't have a turbocharger, do not run it. This thing eats up a lot of ammo, and you do need to be accurate. Even though it is an LMG, it has a lot of kick. You do need to practice with this gun. L-Star, it's only good off drop. I don't recommend holding on to this gun until you find, a Havoc. I would definitely run a Havoc or a Devotion over an L-Star any day, if I don't have anything else to work with. And that's the important thing to take note in Diamond, and in Ranked in general, is you're not going to have the luxury to, to have the weapon that you want. So you have to make do with what you have. I think that's the biggest advice I can give to people in Diamond going to Masters. There's going to be time. I mean, I've had games where I play with the L-Star, and it just is what it is. So just because I'm saying don't use it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be good with the weapon in the first place, if that makes any sense. Spitfire, self-explanatory, half machine gun, half sniper rifle. Very good in ranked. Same with the Rampage. Rampage isn't as strong as a Spitfire, but you get the gist. This will be your RP farmer. There's games where I play with the wingman and I don't hit my shots, and I'm like, well, screw it. I'm gonna put a Rampage on, and it has better distance, and I might as well run the Rampage. Rampage is probably good for every single legend in the game, especially Gibby, especially Caustic. Um, but yeah, let's keep it moving. Marksman, I recommend these three. They're kind of pretty self-explanatory. 30-30 is amazing. I think I don't really use, what is that hop up? Shatter caps on the 30-30. I know it's good and all, but I think it's better with the dual shell for the reload speed. And ranked, especially in Diamond, you're not going to really have the time uh, to kind of load up one bullet at a time, especially when the 30-30 at purple is like 12 bullets in the magazine. So definitely pick it up with a dual shell if you get the chance. But these are all pretty strong. I don't really recommend using double tap with the G7, um, just because it's kind of loud, and you kind of don't want the enemy to know, like, oh, he has a G7. You know what I mean? Because then they're not really gonna take take the fight that you could have if you just have it on single fire. So yeah, there you go. Bow check I don't really recommend unless you get really lucky or you start crafting arrows, which I don't recommend. Your points should primarily be used for batteries and or shield upgrades at the beginning of the match. If you don't land with a blue or a purple or a gold, etc. Uh, I don't really recommend the bow at high level play. Again, if you get lucky, run it. Like I said, if you're comfortable with the bow check, go for it. But for me personally, I don't really recommend it. Sniper rifles, pretty self-explanatory. Charge rifle, Kraber, longbow, and sentinel are just non-existent. I'm not even going to talk about them. Kraber, I mean, everyone knows the Kraber. Charge rifle, same thing. Charge rifle is really interesting. Sometimes you don't have to. It's a hit scan weapon, so this is going to be the RP farmer in high level lobbies. You do need to start getting good with the charge rifle if you haven't already. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates to fight against it. Why not use it? You know, you have to take every single advantage that you can in ranked, especially in diamond and above. So, charge rifle, star pick. Shotguns, again, pretty self-explanatory. Mastiff and Peacekeeper are interchangeable, especially for characters such as, Caustic and Gibby. So you can switch between them. Nothing wrong with that. Mozambique, EVA 8, again, I don't recommend you running it at all for the duration of the game. Maybe off drop, but then after that, get rid of it. EVA 8 is very inconsistent this season, and it might be inconsistent next season. So I would stay away from it as far as possible. But yeah, let's keep it going. Pistols, RE45, P20 in the garbage. Do not run this in rank. You're going to be a detriment to yourself and the team, and you're just going to be easy RP. Do not use these guns at all. Pick up a 301. Heck, pick up an R99 above these two. There's no point. And then last but not least is the Wingman. But the wingman is 50-50. Like I said, I've had games where I do 3,000, 4,000 damage and it goes so well. And I'm like, wow, I am a wingman god, you know? Let me get sponsored by G Fuel or something. And then other games where I just don't hit a soul and all my bullets just go across the map and they just hit walls. You know, they just go to the new Apex map or something. Like I just don't hit a soul. So in some cases, again, this is a very 50-50 gun. If you're not hitting your shots, choose a Rampage, choose any other gun, use a 30-30. That's my other alternative. If I'm not hitting my windman shots, it's either a Rampage or a 30-30, depending if I have, sights and at my disposal. Um, but yeah, at this moment, I guess we'll talk about inventory management. Say you're running, let's say you're running a wingman and an R301. I would say have like 240 for light and maybe 120 for the wingman. I know that sounds excessive, but you need to have the good amount, a good amount of ammo for any situation. Stuff like that is mostly like, I don't know, it's just to like not run out of ammo or have like a shortage or have enough ammo to kind of split it with your teammates if you don't, um, if something happens for whatever reason. So yeah, like I said, after that, you probably want to have, say you have like a white shield. You kind of don't need batteries, maybe like two batteries, right? You can replicate them. You should have at least 4 to 8 cells at that point if you have a blue shot, if you have a blue shield, that kind of thing. I guess we'll jump into firing range and go over some of that stuff. I guess right now is the best time to talk about the gameplay, how you will be playing in the diamond lobbies. Assuming you do make it to diamond, I wish you the best of luck. It's not very easy, but I would say the biggest thing about playing in ranked is being with friends. Um, Play a good amount of ranked, like, or play a good amount of diamond rank, and there's going to be times where you find people along the way that are in on the same journey. I think the biggest misconception that people have is, oh, I don't have the time, or oh, it's so hard at the moment because, time constraints. I would say that getting from diamond to masters, it is a climb, and it's more of a mentality state, and you need to stay positive in those times. Um, I think positivity is the biggest thing uh, from going to diamond to masters is, having the ability to just make conscious decisions and to be very self-aware of the situations that present themselves, especially climbing and then fighting people at a high level, right? So right now, I guess is a good time to start talking about the gameplay. I talked about the characters and the weapons, and I think for me personally, making this guide, that's 50% of what you need to do, but the gameplay is the other 50% as to how you're going to reach higher levels and go from, like I said, diamond to master. So let's talk about it. What should your playstyle be like? So if you're solo queuing, I highly recommend that you kind of stick behind your teammates at all times. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter how fast they are. Most of the time, in my experience, when I was solo queuing, it was more so two other people um, stacking, right? And I was the quote unquote random. So it's very important for you to play their play style. I think the only time you should intervene and be like, hey, I don't think we should do this is if it's a rotation or a fight that you shouldn't be taking. Especially fights outside of ring. I don't recommend taking fights outside of ring because 9 times out of 10, getting six RP, maybe getting another assist for an assist, it's not worth going negative 48 for, you know what I mean? Especially in Diamond, that's how much RP you're going to be losing. That goes to my next step, which is wins, question mark. And ranked, it's not all about winning. Ranked is specifically tailored for placement. Um, Apex currently, season 12, they're going to rework it in season 13, but I guess it's going to go for season 13 as well. Right now, Apex isn't very team oriented, in the sense that you're not getting rewarded for reviving someone. You're not getting rewarded from respawning someone, right? Those points are non-existent. So right now, that's why the meta is so aggressive. Uh, oh, that kind of freaked me out. In the way that, you just have to be patient. I think that's the biggest thing when pushing fights at high level is, you don't have to always kill a full squad. Sometimes it's just worth just killing one person of the team and letting them go because you know that once you start that fight, and especially in Kings Canyon, not so much Storm Point. There isn't that much third party in Storm Point, but once you start getting into a fight and you prolong it, you need to find ways to clear out of the area, or you need to find a way to finish the match or the fight as quickly as possible and take cover and heal up or swap a shield. Um, I think that's the most important part of gameplay wise in high level. With that being said, the next big thing is going to be callouts. Um, let's say I am with let's say I'm playing Lifeline for ranked for some reason, which I shouldn't, but I'm playing Lifeline. My teammate's a Bloodhound. My other teammate's a Wraith. Um, you know, I need to tell them like, oh, what do you need, right? You need to start getting into the mentality of getting rid of stuff in your inventory. Because this stuff, I could be dropping it and I can be pinging it for my teammates, who should be using snipers. Look over at their inventory, see what they have currently. Offer them ammo, like, oh, I'm running double heavy at the moment, so I'm dropping my light. Here you go, right? I would recommend, especially if you're solo queuing, just don't be greedy. Everyone who's going to be in your lobbies are in it for the same thing, right? They want to rank up, they want success. I mean, I've had times where people call me a bot because my caustic doesn't look like my lifeline, right? So they're like, "Oh, this guy's a bot. I'm not gonna help him do anything." And then when they die, right? Like I said, I'm solo queuing. When they die, I look like the jerk. They're like, "Oh, why didn't you come back for me?" Da 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 da. So it's more so just be nice, be courteous. Again, just be aware of what you have and what your teammates don't have. Ping out a survival slot, right?
I need a survival item.
Right? Like I don't have a revive or I don't have heat shield, right? As caustic, I usually say like,
Rest easy now.
hey,
Ultimate's charged.
my ultimate's done. Let's start pushing something. We're in a good spot. There's nobody around. Let's try to find something. You don't have to play super defensive. But yeah, let's start going into positioning. Positioning is very, very important. I think the most important thing in ranked, especially those radio towers, man. Those radio towers are going to be huge. Things like charge towers in Kings Canyon are super
Charge
important.
tower here.
Always
Need
try to get
upgrade
to
and
them,
powered up.
especially with legends whose ultimates take a very long time. Pick up accelerants whenever you can and just use them instantly. I don't recommend you holding on to them. Unless you're playing Watson, I don't recommend you holding on to them. I would try to pick a fight and then reset and go back and use your accelerants as soon as possible. All right. Let's see. I think I'm missing out a few things in terms of gameplay, but I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know. I mean, anything can happen in a BR. It's a battle royale at the end of the day. It's not like you have a preset loadout. So just work with what you have, and I feel like you'll do great. Um, like I said, I'm going to leave a link at the bottom of the video in the description below of the two games that I had for Masters, so you can kind of get it like a visual idea of how to engage fights based on your playstyle. I guess I should talk about if you don't have a microphone. That's going to be pretty hard. I would recommend just using earbuds if you're too shy or something. But everything else, I mean, the
Not
game is
enough shields
designed
ammo this time.
to, the game is
No
designed
shields
for you to
here.
ping
Level
stuff.
5.
So you can always ask your teammates, even spam your teammates
I
if you
need
need
heavy
to.
ammo.
But I think that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully, I didn't drag it out too long. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what rank you are currently. Um, it's definitely a climb, but I would say patience and everything else that I said is kind of the biggest thing um, when going into higher lobbies. Don't over engage. Don't get greedy. Just play your game. And if you play your game, your teammates will play around you, and you will play around them. So I wish you the best of luck, everybody. And I will see you maybe in a season 13 ranked guide if I decided to make one. But best of luck, you guys. Again, thank you for everyone that's supported me in the channel and all that good stuff. You guys are the best. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck. Take care, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one.